Hi, folks. This is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report. You know, I've thought so much about one of the real pressures and challenges that I face in doing the work that I do in promoting our fishing is that this resource that we have, this incredible fish population that we have in the St. Lawrence River and our tributaries, is special, but it's also very vulnerable. Everything in this world is subject to change. They have to fight for survival. And we are one of their biggest challenges right now. But I think of the ways that we have today that we didn't have years ago to help keep these fish alive and help keep this resource going. And one of them is a camera. You know, when I go fishing in the Grass River, I'm wading, and I don't take my camera, my phone with me. That's my camera, my phone, because I'm always subject to falling on the slippery rocks. And if I go under the water, that could ruin my phone, and so I don't take it. But yet, if we have our phone with us, in the past, we either had to bring the fish home and show them to people and then either eat them, or a lot of times we wasted the fish, or we had to get them mounted so that we could brag and show the story, talk about the story of the fish that we caught. In today's world, we don't have to do that. We can instantly capture them with our phone. And then we can let them go back in the water. And that's one way that we have today to help keep this resource going. Another thing is, and this is going to sound really silly to a lot of you, but the fact that nets, that we can net the fish, we can get them out of the water and up to where we can get the hook out. Nets are made now, a lot of them out of rubber. And the rubber material is so much better for the fish than the material that nets used to be made out of. That was made of some kind of fiber, and it would rub the slime off their bodies, and their slime is their infection fighter. That's their immune system to help them keep from getting ill and dying. And so rubber nets make a huge difference. Single hooks are something, and I preach this all the time. If you have a single hook that you're using and the fish takes that in, it's a lot easier to get that single hook out without killing the fish than it is a treble hook. Now, if just catching and taking that fish home is your top priority, then a treble hook's going to help you hook the fish better and keep the fish on. But if you want to try to protect the fish, still enjoy the battle, a single hook is so critical. And then we know that different species of fish fight differently, and they exhaust themselves in different ways. But a lot of fish, like muskies in particular, they'll give off so much lactic acid that they'll go into shock, and they're not very durable once we bring them in. So the key is to have a quick battle. To do that, you need the proper rod and reel that can end that battle soon to get the fish in before they exhaust themselves. Just think of how much weaker we get if we're struggling all the time. If we go out, we run a 5-mile run. By the end of that 5 mile, we're going to be pretty exhausted, and we have to recuperate. If we only run 50 yards, now I'm not speaking for everybody, we're all different, but 50 yards isn't near as bad. So if we can end the battle with that fish as soon as possible, that fish has a lot better chance of surviving, no matter how it's hooked, no matter, what net we use or anything. If we can keep that fish from exhausting itself, it can stay strong. These are things to remember, and this is how life has changed over the years. When I think back to the way it once was, and how my biggest joy was bringing the creel home and opening it up and let my family see how good a boy I'd been. I'd caught all these wonderful fish. That world is gone. And now it's very important that we respect these fish, adore them in some cases, and keep them alive as long as we possibly can. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report.